Hello everybody, it's Steve with a hat back with another video, and I regret to inform that unfortunately yesterday it was confirmed that Mr. Charlie Kirk has unfortunately succumbed to his wounds and has passed away at the age of 31. My heart grieves for his friends, family, and colleagues who have to share the pain that is losing a loved one slash close friend. I mean, what else is there to say really? I mean, dying at the age of 31, it's still fucking young. It's so young. He was younger than my older sister. He had a family that deeply cared about him, was very aligned with his faith to God. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it's an absolute tragedy. There's not one excuse that you can conjure up to excuse his absolute deplorable action. Unless, of course, you're Mr. Self-proclaimed horse lover and lolly enthusiast, Vaush.
Make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse.
I know we went over in the last video how there were people who were straight up celebrating his death or politicizing it, which if you take a look at Vaush's videos and his comments section as well as his live stream chat, you'll see all the people either celebrating his death, excusing his death, or people just going full edgelord and saying you get what you deserve. I mean, I was expecting a bit of an edgy response from him as well as his audience, but I always thought that despite how bad faith him and his audience can be, I thought he'd be able to say, you know, someone who always likes to cite shit going down in history, which he does a lot, by the way, that this is flat out wrong and that political violence is the leading causes of war, whether it's within a nation or around the world. But no, he didn't do that. Instead, he proceeds to politicize the event, compare it to other tragedies involving prominent political figures and the break-in involving Nancy Pelosi's husband. I mean, listen to this fool.
When did this happen? Like 15 minutes ago? Larry David really committing to the bit here? Yeah. Well, no matter what, I'm sure we can all look forward to people who were, you know, the entire right wing who was unrepentantly, like up until 15 minutes ago, talking about, you know, infinite death penalty for all degenerates and ne'er-do-wells in the subways, acting as though they're perfect angels who have never called for violence. We'll see how this plays out. This man is clearly a trans person. Well, you don't know that. You can't tell that just by looking.
Yes, you heard that right. It only took him 15 minutes from when the story and videos dropped of Kirk being assassinated to start politicizing this shit. Now, I want you to notice something that really caught my eye in this clip, and that is when he's discussing how a lot of people were calling for the death penalty for the man responsible for stabbing the Ukrainian woman refugee, Iryna Zarutska. I'm sorry for butchering your name, which led to her losing a lot of blood and succumbing to her injuries, where DeCarlos Brown Jr. was released 8 months prior to the stabbing that took place on the subway, based on a written promise that he would return to court when ordered to, which, surprise, surprise, he never fulfilled that promise, and he also has 14 prior arrests. I mean, that one video by Doomer Media is looking more and more true every time I check on this guy, huh?
Didn't two Dems get executed? Yeah, but that wasn't, you don't understand. That was different, because that was a right-wing nutjob killing Democrats, so that's different. When that happens, that's a news story for 2 days, and then it's gone. A right-winger disguising themselves as a cop and then creating an execution list and working down the list of Democrats, that's different. I literally keep forgetting the right did that. Yep. Just sailed right down the river, man. Every goddamn news story and talking point that's bad for the right. Just whoosh.
Hey, Vaush, right here, buddy. Hey, listen, here. You listening? I'm not on either side, right nor left. I'm what you call someone who don't pay attention to that shit, except for the big-ass headlines in the news such as this one. It's still fucking wrong to kill people over political differences. I mean, is this guy fucking retarded or something? He's unironically comparing that tragedy to this tragedy. Why? Because some unhinged fucks on the right were making fun of what happened. That means it's okay for you to make fun of what is going on or to downplay what transpired? No, it doesn't, you fucking moron. Left or right, killing someone over a difference of opinion, whether it's politically, socially, anything, just anything, it's fucking wrong. It's flat out wrong, no matter what side it is. No matter what side it is. Furthermore, can we take a moment to take a look at his comment section? I mean, like, what the fucking fuck, bruh? I was expecting some edgelords to be in this comment section, but to be honest, I think this just takes it up a step further. Like, look at this shit. They're all going around and twisting words that he said in the past in order to downplay the severity of the situation. Like the top comment is saying the most overused quote out of this whole situation, and it's an out of context quote that not only Vaush's audience is pushing, but also this guy right here is pushing. I'll be making a future video on this guy because this guy right here also cut up a bunch of clips out of context in order to skew the narrative about Mr. Kirk. Now, why do I say this quote is out of context? Well, allow me to show you the full answer that he gave to a young man at one of his TPUSA events.
I just had a question related to Second Amendment rights. We saw the shooting that happened recently, and a lot of people are upset. But I'm seeing people argue for the other side that they want to take our Second Amendment rights away. How do we convince them that it's important to have the right to defend ourselves and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. So I'm a big Second Amendment fan, but I think most politicians are cowards when it comes to defending why we have a Second Amendment. This is why I would not be a good politician. Or maybe I would, I don't know. But because I actually speak my mind. The Second Amendment is not about hunting. I love hunting. The Second Amendment is not even about personal defense. That is important. The Second Amendment is there, God forbid, so that you can defend yourself against a tyrannical government.
Come on.
And if that talk scares you, wow, that's radical, Charlie. I don't know about that. Well, then you have not really read any of the literature of our founding fathers. Number two, you've not read any 20th century history. You're just living in Narnia. By the way, if you're actually living in Narnia, you would be wiser than wherever you're living, because C.S. Lewis was really smart. So I don't know what alternative universe you're living in. You just don't want to face reality that governments tend to get tyrannical, and that if people need an ability to protect themselves and their communities and their families. Now, we must also be real. We must be honest with the population. Having an armed citizenry comes with a price. And that is part of liberty.
Wow.
Driving comes with a price. 50,000 people die on the road every year.
Wow.
That's a price. You get rid of driving, you'd have 50,000 less auto fatalities. But we have decided that the benefit of driving, speed, accessibility, mobility, having products, services, is worth the cost of 50,000 people dying on the road. Wow. So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen.
Right.
You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home,
yes,
by having more armed guards in front of schools. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. So how do you reduce? Very simple. People say, oh, Charlie, how do you stop school shootings? I don't know. How did we stop shootings at baseball games? Because we have armed guards outside of baseball games. That's why. How did we stop all the shootings at airports? We have armed guards outside of airports. How do we stop all the shootings at banks? We have armed guards outside of banks. How do we stop all the shootings at gun shows? Notice there's not a lot of mass shootings at gun shows. There's all these guns. Because everyone's armed. If our money and our sporting events and our airplanes have armed guards, why don't our children?
I mean, like, wow. Honestly, wow. Do you realize how long it took me to find that full unedited answer? It took me a lot longer than you think, I'll tell you that. Because when I was first told and heard that famous quote that everyone is using, I thought, wow, that's a bit of some ironic hypocrisy. And I went ahead and thought, there's no way someone who claims to be rational would ever say something like that. So I went hunting. I went to go find the full unedited clip so that I can be sure that I had all the necessary information to come to my own conclusion. And would you lo and behold, I ended up finding it. And you can imagine my surprise when I found the clip and heard everything he said before and after the quote. It's so amazing how he sounds way less crazy when you take into the full context, apart from hearing that 10-second clip, which does sound insane if you only take into account that 10-second clip. Now, I proceeded to go ahead and take apart that argument that a lot of people are pushing, and I mean, there's a lot of people pushing that shit. Just go on social media or YouTube or really anywhere that references or even mentions Mr. Kirk, and you'll find it. Now, with this next clip that I'm about to show you, I want to highlight how Vaush compared what happened to Mr. Kirk to the Paul Pelosi break-in and the assault that took place a few years back. He goes ahead and says that right-wingers were making fun of what happened to Mr. Pelosi. You know what? Actually, let me stop right there. I'll let y'all hear it and respond to what I gotta say after.
Pelosi's husband getting assaulted. Yeah, please, never, ever, ever forget that Republicans, not just Republican pundits and voters, but Republican politicians, turned an assassination attempt on Nancy Pelosi into like a widespread joke that they all thought was hilarious. They turned it into a conspiracy theory about like a lover's spat between Pelosi's husband and a gay guy. Like, they do not care. They do not care. Not even a little bit. You gotta remember that.
Now, yes, you heard that right. He is unambiguously comparing that fucked up situation to this fucked up situation. Now, why is he doing this? I actually don't believe he's doing it in order to get that gotcha moment over Mr. Kirk. That would be straight up evil, and he knows that. No. He's comparing it because of the optics that surrounds these situations. You take Mr. Pelosi, who is Nancy Pelosi's husband, where Mrs. Pelosi needs no introduction. Even people who aren't into politics, such as myself, knows who she is. I also know that she's a pretty unpopular politician on both sides for reasons I'm not about to get into, because that would be an hour-long video itself, and I'm just not interested in doing that. He's comparing how right-wing figures reacted to what happened to Mr. Kirk versus Mr. Pelosi. Now, I've noticed a pretty stark difference in both situations is, well, the big difference. This is the big difference that I've gathered from, doing some of the research I did. One man died and the other got released from a hospital 6 days later after making a full recovery to his injuries, with surgical help, of course. I mean, dog. How in the fuck do you compare these two situations? You have to be both terminally online and also terminally political to your side in order to come to that conclusion. Again, 15 minutes after Charlie Kirk was fucking shot in front of his wife, kids, and thousands of other people, as well as recorded for the entire public to bear witness to. You think his family won't have that moment replaying in the back of their heads over and over and over again for the rest of their fucking lives? That's the big difference between these two situations, you ignorant fuck. And he's so smug about it too. You can hear it in his voice. He thinks he's making a great point, but he isn't. He's just showing how much of a soulless piece of shit he is. But what else would you expect from the same guy who defends CP to own people, got caught with gigabytes of lolly, as well as all the shit he said about horses and how he feels about them? I'm sorry. I lost my cool for a second. But, I mean, can you really blame me? This is how a human being is reacting to another human being getting shot in the fucking throat on video by politicizing it and comparing it to other tragedies in order to own the right-wing base. I mean, honestly, fuck this guy. Now, I want to take a moment to highlight how a normal human being reacts to something as harrowing and as fucked up as this. Not by trying to put out agendas or what is the other side going to do now. It's by having actual sympathy towards someone you disagree with heavily, and even called him his biggest op, Dean Withers. From what I researched for this video, there was a live stream where he reacted live to the downright evil event that took place. I believe he did take down that stream since I did see it the other day, but upon recording I couldn't find it, so I just assume he took it down for his own personal reasons, which he has every right to do, by the way. He did start the live stream by himself, doing his normal shtick, which is debating conservative people on his live stream in front of his audience. That's something he's done for a while now, and it's something he's become accustomed to. When near the end of the stream, that's when he broke down about what happened to Mr. Kirk. That's when he learned about what happened to Mr. Kirk, and even his homie, a guy with the YouTube handle, Parker Get a Job. I wasn't really familiar with these two before the Charlie Kirk's assassination, but from what I gathered from my research, they weren't big fans of Mr. Kirk. He was there in attendance and straight up broke down about what happened. It was honestly really hard to listen to because you can tell by his voice that he was shaken about what happened. And a moment like that is going to stick with him for a long time, probably the rest of his life, just like everybody else there.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine, imagine being a 12-year-old, watching your dad fucking die. Nobody deserves that. Not even Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk is dead. He got shot at an event that he was hosting in Utah. And I am sad, distraught. In fact, I just cried on my live stream in front of 250,000 people. My goal in this video is to tell you why I feel this way. If you want to end gun violence, it is something that you can never celebrate. It is always disgusting, always vile, and always abhorrent. It should come as no shock to yourself when I tell you that I think Charlie Kirk was a bad person. I've made that very clear over the last year, but does that mean I think he deserves to lose his life? No. Does that mean I think his two young children, who were in attendance at the event where he was shot, deserve to watch their father die? No. Does that mean I think they deserve to grow up without him? No. Does that mean I think that his wife, who was also there, deserved to lose her husband? No. And honestly, if you answered yes to any of those questions, there's a very clear line drawn between me and you. I don't want your support, and I don't support you either. We as a collective need to end gun violence, and if that phrase is negotiable for you, I believe that you're in the wrong. My thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie Kirk's friends, family, children, loved ones, as well as every single person in attendance at his event today in Utah.
That is how a normal person who recognizes that it isn't just Charlie Kirk being affected by this. It's also the people surrounding him that get affected by this, albeit friends, family, as well as colleagues. I mean, he wasn't even fucking there, and it affected him greatly. Can you imagine how it affects the people who woke up looking forward that they can either see Charlie Kirk or get a chance to debate with Charlie Kirk and have their thoughts and ideas be platformed for a large audience to see? Instead, they hear a shot go off. They see another person getting shot in the fucking throat, and they have no idea if they'll be the next target or if there's any more shooters that will be approaching.
People are saying Charlie Kirk's words hurt them, offended them. His words were violent. What is more violent, him sitting there peacefully chatting and talking with people, or this sense of real violence where someone was just shot in their fucking neck and now all of these people are scrambling, running for their lives, trying to figure out if they're going to live or die, if they could be the next person shot?
Those are real fears that those people experience, but no. Let's continue to push agendas and politicize it for your audience of radicalized dorks to take part in. These clips come from when Vaush learned that Mr. Kirk was confirmed to be dead due to a piece of trash killing him. I mean, I can't even prepare y'all for what y'all are about to hear. Because it's like, fuck, man. Even I was dumbfounded when I first heard it. And I've heard a lot of shit. But this shit is really fucking up there. Like, listen to this terminally online Redditor, bro.
This is the narrative we're going to go with. The peace-loving, debate-loving conservatives, where you can go up there for the courtesy of having your argument with Charlie Kirk about whether or not trans people should be put in a blender, edited down to favor him in the YouTube release, versus the violence-friendly left, who is completely politically disempowered and statistically commits less violence than the right.
Yes, go up and debate Charlie Kirk so that your argument can be edited down to favor him. Surely, that warrants someone to shoot him in the jugular. Not the fact that he actually committed any violent acts that you stated, which I know he's being hyperbolic about it. I'm not stupid. Someone edits down shit to favor themselves, so that means yes, no one should be sad about you losing your life. Like, if that isn't the most ridiculous, downright deplorable shit that I or you have ever heard, then I don't even know what to say, dog. Because, fuck, man, that's a really, really bad take if you ask me. You're saying all that after learning he got shot. Like I said, vile piece of shit. Also, where do you get those obvious bullshit statistics from? It's so obvious he made up those statistics up, because there isn't one study that has a clear and concise saying this one side does more violence, therefore that means the other side is disenfranchised. Like, shut the fuck up, dog. You're just fucking yapping. Right here at the end of this video, I want to highlight one last clip from Vaush, where, in my opinion, this is the most sociopathic, degenerate, vile, and downright satanic take I've ever heard him say about this. Now, go ahead, just listen.
People who are pro-death, like Charlie Kirk, should not be subject to random whims of vigilante violence, but should instead be discouraged from expressing those opinions by way of, making society stable enough that there isn't really like a dollar to be made and calling for stuff like this. Like, I just, like, in a good society, this wouldn't happen, not only because there wouldn't be random shooters, but also because there wouldn't be a political market for people like Charlie Kirk to hate monger. What we're seeing here is the result of systemic failure on multiple fronts, and if the society that I wanted existed, none of this could even happen. Charlie Kirk could live his life as a wretched person peacefully, as is the right of every wretched person, as long as they don't inflict violence on other people. But we don't live in that world, and the reason we don't live in that world is because of people like Charlie Kirk, who make a lot of money telling a lot of people that the real way forward is through death, violence, and hatred.
Yes, you heard it right. The rise of radicalization among a group of people as well as political violence isn't to blame. It's the political market for the so-called hatred that Vaush is against, as well as the fact that Mr. Kirk found his niche, was successful at it, and good at it. And from what I gathered when researching for this video, he wasn't out there spewing any of that type of hatred. Even from videos where I found myself disagreeing with him, he wasn't violent towards his opposition. The fact that he said, "We don't live in a world where people don't get shot for their political takes because of people like Charlie Kirk." Fuck, man. I ain't gonna lie. That shit made me real upset. It made me real upset. Because, to me, that's excusing this shit. To me, that is excusing this shit. Alright? Because he's essentially saying that Mr. Kirk is the causation of his own peril. That's exactly what he's saying. And I'm pretty sure you cucklord Vaush fans will be in my comments talking about, "I don't understand his argument," or "I'm taking him out of context." No, I'm not. I link everything that I use in the description, so go ahead and listen to what he said. It is not only in full context, but he is also essentially blaming Charlie Kirk for some piece of shit murdering him in front of his wife and kids. Please, find me any clip, and I mean any clip, where he says the only way forward is death, violence, and hatred. I know you won't find those clips, because they don't exist. The physical manifestation of Reddit, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, can we have a round of applause? Round of applause for this fucking cretin. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you found the video insightful, please go ahead and drop a like. You can subscribe if you want, but that's totally up to you. And if you'd like to comment your thoughts, disagreements, or anything you feel I missed in this video, please comment down below. And have yourselves a great rest of your night. Peace and love, everybody.